you guys will all bear with me for a little bit here. I'm very new to YouTube and not computer literate really, but we're going to try to have our first YouTube video be about a review on my Austin XL and a thorough cleaning. About a week away from having this grill for about a year now. Been completely happy with it. There were a lot of features I wanted. After a lot of research, that's why I ended up with the Pit Boss. The one thing it didn't have on the XL was the shelf, but I found I could order that aftermarket. It really was a great addition to my grill. A couple of modifications, the shelf being one. The other thing I found was I really didn't like having to use a stick to level out my pellets as they funneled during the cook. By cutting this area out with a pair of tin snips, I was able to go ahead and get my hand in there to level these pellets out. It makes my life so much easier. The other feature I just had to have on my grill was another reason I ended up with the Pit Boss. Able to purge those pellets very easily between cooks. I like experimenting with different flavors. This was a little simple add-on, a couple of magnetic hooks. Gets that upper rack out of my way, keeps it safe in the back of the grill. Very easy to do, really nice. So we're going to go ahead and give this a thorough cleaning. Purge the pellets for some fresh smoked pellets. So let's get started with the cleaning. I found it very simple for my grates. They do get a little gunky after a couple of cooks. So what I've done, went to Home Depot, picked up a mortar tub. Fill this with some nice hot soapy water. Let those grates soak for about 15 minutes. They come out clean as a whistle. So I'm going to get started, get set up for a thorough cleaning here. We'll walk through the cleaning. I know that's pretty basic stuff for most of you, but we have a lot of people that are just new to the pellet smoking. We'll give that a go and see what you guys think. All right, we're going to start off by getting these grill grates in the mortar with the soap and water. This is a handy little tool. For a while I was using a pair of vice grips, does the same thing, but this worked out really well. It's able to grip the grates. Take them off and put them in the mortar. The mortar tub, pardon me. That hot soapy water will take all that grease right off of those. All right, next up, you see we get a little buildup on this heat shield. I find just a regular putty knife will clean that all up very nicely. When I first bought this, I tried lining this with some foil to make it an easier clean, but I really wasn't happy. The foil tended to stick metal, made it a little harder than I thought it was going to be. So now I've just given up on the foil, and I find that just a putty knife takes this off pretty well. One thing I didn't do when I bought this that I would recommend is all this metal right here should have been coated with some vegetable oil, and each cleaning done the same thing. I think it would have made it a little easier to clean up. The other feature on this grill that I just had to have, I just love, is the flame broil option. By sliding that over, we get a nice open area to that pot, get a good flame going to do some searing. So once we get that all scraped off, you'll notice you got a couple of tabs here on the end. That's what holds this up. So we're just going to take this off, set it off to the side. That's going to bring us in here. You see the pot? This is where the hopper feeds the pellets in. When that gets a little too full, you get a little bit too much ash, you'll find it backs up the smoke out of the hopper. Not a good situation. Auger can become clogged and need to be taken out. So we're going to vacuum all this out. So we're just going to hit this real quick with a vacuum, get all this extra out of here. Get down inside that pot, get all that out of there. If you look real closely, you'll see there's an igniter here. That's what warms up your pellets. That's what will get the fire started. If you get too much ash in there, you will get smoke backing up through the auger. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to remove this cover. That's going to pop right out of there. We'll set that off to the side. You can see it hasn't been that long since I cleaned. Not a lot of buildup in here, but I like to keep it as clean as we can because it will create problems if you don't clean that often enough. Just that simple, guys. We are cleaned and ready to go back together. So we're going to put that last piece we took off back on. Just sets right in, line these holes up right here. Remember, this piece was the one with the tabs. Make sure you get those tabs to the left side. They'll sit right in there. Get your flame broil right. And now we're on to the grates. All right, we've had the grates soaking for about 10 minutes here, 15 minutes. You're gonna see that this water gets a little greasy. They weren't terrible this time, but with a quick scrub, this brush I found at Home Depot works really well for this. So once you get them cleaned up, it's really just a matter of rinsing them off with the hose, and you'll have a nice fresh start to your grates. Once I get this done, we'll hose those grates off and let them sit, dry off real well. And all that's left to do is take a rag, hot soapy water, and wipe the grill itself down everywhere. Get any dust or particles that have gathered. Just that simple. All right, one of the things we talked about earlier in this video, I love being able to purge these pellets so easily. We've got some maple rum in there right now. I'd like to go to an apple for my cook today. So you just remove this screw, pull this cap, and everything just comes right out of there. Didn't have a lot left. I was able to time it last time so that we didn't end up with a lot of pellets left over. So just that simple, I can now change the pellet flavor. I call this my PPB, pardon me, my PPB blend, purged pellet blend. After a few times of doing this, that bucket will fill up with multiple flavors of smoke pellets, and it's always exciting to see what it tastes like when I use that bucket up. Put this back together like this. This pops back in, and just that quickly I'm ready to put a different flavor pellet in. All right, now that we've purged the pellets, we've cleaned the inside of the grill, this bucket is what catches all the droppings, the grease. You'll see after a while it gets pretty nasty. But it's so simple to just take this bucket out, throw that away, and pop in a fresh bucket. Great feature. Put that back up there and we are ready to go. Okay, so now we are completely cleaned up. We purged the pellets, changed the bucket, got the grates clean, got everything all vacuumed out. Only thing left to do to get ready for our cook today is to put some fresh pellets in. I'm going to do a little pork today, so I'm going to try some apple pellets with this pork cook. Should be delicious. Alright guys, I'm a little OCD, so I picked up some buckets. We got them labeled with the flavor that's inside. One thing I've really found I like, these are called Gamma Seal lids. Picked them up on Amazon. I'm able to put these on top of these buckets. Gives me a nice waterproof, safe way to store all these pellets. So we're going to switch to an apple today. We're just going to pour these right in. We'll level those out and we should be ready to cook. So that's going to conclude our first video on YouTube. Got the grill all nice and cleaned up. Hope you guys found something in this video that you can use. If you're new to the pellet grilling scene, be sure and follow This Grill Life on Twitter. So many knowledgeable people willing to help you out, answer any questions you might have. Quick shout out to Richard Myers. Thank you so much, Richard Myers at Ram Tough. He created the intro for this video. I just love it. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks again for playing, guys.